thrilled about our next guest. He holds a distinctive place in American letters. He has probably received more public attention and acclaim and scrutiny than any other American writer since Ernest Hemingway. His latest novel is a murder mystery titled Tough Guys Don't Dance. It's a pleasure to welcome Mr. Norman Mailer. Well, I feel I know you because I read everything about you, and there's certainly enough books on you this year.
This year?
This year.
Next year, I'll be saying, would someone please write a book about me? I don't see anything about myself any longer.
But this year, everybody suddenly decided, let's write books about Norman Mailer.
But it's dangerous. It's terrible because once people write books about you, everyone loses interest. You know, they say, oh, God, he's that long-winded fellow.
Yeah, but do you think by being so... You're known now as so many different things. You're known as, well, first of all, obviously a novelist, an essayist, a womanizer.
No, I reject that.
Oh.
You know, I mean, compared to some of the guys I've known, I'm not a womanizer.
6 marriages.
Well, that means I got a lot of feeling.
But what do you think of yourself as, primarily?
Oh, I test summarizing myself because, you know, I'm a novelist and we're long-winded.
That's okay.
So I can't tell you in a sentence what I think of myself. I'd give you a better answer if you asked me, what do you think of yourself on a good day or a bad day?
Okay, what do you think of yourself on a good day?
I do my best.
What do you think of yourself on a bad day?
I'm not doing my best.
Okay.
I'm simple. I'm much simpler than people think I am.
No, you're not simple. You're the most complex life.
Well, but very often if you have a complex life, you have to be simple to lead it. You see, a complex man leading a complex life gets jammed up.
Gotcha. I'm not going to go back and forth with you on anything. Whatever you say, I'm going to go right. What do you get your biggest satisfaction from? Writing, fame, personal life?
I'll leave the personal life to the side because, if you have a personal life, and I do,
right.
The people who are in your personal life have feelings that are most intense.
Right.
So if you say, no, my writing is most important to me, you injure them irreparably. On the other hand, I won't pretend that writing isn't very important, but what'll definitely make me feel good on a day is if I have a good day of writing.
Yeah. So you're basically the artist first.
Well, you have to be.
I agree with you. I'm just,
there's a selfishness to being an artist that is once you lose it, once you become a nice man, to the degree you become a nice man, you're often losing your talent. And writers sit around saying, gee, am I getting too nice? I think I might be losing my talent. Maybe I should be bad again.
Go out and kick a kid.
No.
I know.
No.
Who
Kick
influenced you? Kick a tree.
Kick a tree.
Break a toe.
Yes.
Who influenced you?
Oh, Hemingway, Faulkner, Fitzgerald, Steinbeck.
Theodore Dreiser.
Yes.
You remember Shelley?
Did you really know Theodore Dreiser? I've never asked you. I thought you were a buddy.
You've been telling people for years that I knew him at Harvard, and I love you so much for so many reasons, but one of them is not your accuracy.
But you did not know Theodore Dreiser?
No, I revered his work, but I never met him, and he never was at Harvard, you know.
How did you know so much about him? Quite seriously, we spent several days discussing Theodore Dreiser and the Factory Girl in A Place in the Sun before I tested for American Tragedy.
No, it was all in one night. It was all in one night.
It seemed like several.
I've never forgotten that night.
But I haven't either.
I've never forgotten it because it was a dashing experience for me.
That's very gallant. That's why you've had 6 wives.
No, that's not why.
Norman, you thought you didn't know Marilyn Monroe. That you never met her. Yes, you met her once. Her name was maybe was still Norma Jean, but it was for Henry Wallace. There was some kind of thing at the Pan Pacific Auditorium, and she was an usher, and I was an usher, and you were the stage manager or something, and Katharine Hepburn was talking to Louis B. Mayer, and Marilyn Monroe and I were standing listening, and you chased us out front. We had, political hats.
Listen, if I were a lawyer, I'd love to get you on the stand. What was Louis B. Mayer doing at a Henry Wallace meeting?
He was yelling at Katharine Hepburn and threatening her that she mustn't dare go out front, or that he would expose her relationship with Spencer Tracy.
You should not write
Why?
autobiographies. You should
But that's true.
No, you should do best-selling novels. I mean, you have a fantastic imagination.
It's true. I have witnesses.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
All right. but somehow the way you talked about Dreiser, and to get back to our original thing, I really thought that you knew him. You know, I'm angry at you for something. I was very young, and you began to, I'm quite serious, you began to cultivate in, I don't care what they do, you began to cultivate in me an appetite for academia. Mm-hmm. And somehow it disappeared. You went somewhere. What was your first book?
Listen.
Let's ignore.
It's good, Norman. It's you, and it's good.
I had a terrible time. I had a terrible disappointment with the title. I thought it was the best title
It's
I never
a
had.
wonderful title, Tough Guys Don't Dance.
Nobody ever remembers it. People come up to me and say, you know, I liked your last book. It's called Hard Guys Don't Eat. No, it's and they go on and on. There are more titles.
How do you come up with titles?
Serious Men Don't Dance, they say.
Do you ever, you go through things like you say, oh, that would make a good title one day? How do you pick a title?
That title was a gift. My friend Roger Donahue, who used to be a pretty good middleweight club fighter, was having lunch with another writer, myself, and he told a very funny story. The funny story is to the effect that Frank Costello was once in a nightclub with his girlfriend Gloria, and there were 3 fighters with him. And he kept asking each fighter to go out and dance with his girlfriend, and they did because they were afraid of Costello. And finally, the girl said, look, please, get Uncle Frank to dance with me, too. And so they all came back and started kidding him, and he looked at them. They said, come on, give the broad a break, you know, dance with her. And he looked at him and went, tough guys don't dance.
Great.
So the other writer and I looked at each other, and we said, whoever writes it first.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What was it, of all your work, God knows, and I was going through the things with my husband, Edgar, what is your favorite? What is your pet of all the things? You had to remember for one of your pieces of work.
Well, see, I'm like a mother now. I've written so many books. I've written about 20 books. That I'm like a mother who's had 10, 15, 20 children. And she says, I just love the last one. It was such an easy delivery.
Right, right.
And so I'm terribly fond of this book, not because it's necessarily the best of my books in any way, but I'm just fond of it because it came so easily and naturally when I wrote it.
Yeah, well, I'm going on the road. I'm taking it with me if you autograph it. Such a pleasure to meet you. We'll be right back after this message of one of our sponsors. Stay tuned.
Broadway playwright, television dramatist, screenwriter, essayist, congressional candidate, actor, political debater. His latest book is called Vidal in Venice. It's a beautifully photographed report of his journey